Raven.
And I'm Ahmaad.
And we're the Hood. Welcome to Hood Tales, where we take you through the ups, downs, and merry-go-rounds of millennial marriage. I will literally never not think choir director every time. If you are new here, welcome.
What's
if
good?
You're returning, so glad to see you back with the
Good
bam. Okay. Today we are going to be talking about how to measure and quantify where you are.
Come on now.
Now, as much as this has to do with within the marriage, it's also more so about where you are as an individual.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
You know, everybody says that no true partnership is 50-50, and that's not a lie. It's very cliche, but I feel like it's cliche because it needs to be said over and over and over and over again, because it just continues to reign true and true and true.
Yep.
Realizing what you have to give is really more so just about having honest communication and like a lot of self-realization. And I feel like, and not saying that men don't experience this, right? But I feel like women, most of us have a menstruation period every month, right? And so as I am PMSing and or bleeding, what I have to give is very low. And I'm very honest about what I have to give because I don't have nothing to give. Whether that's in the trainer with Bobby and I'm cussing him out because I don't have nothing to give you, so leave me alone.
Please.
Please. Leave me alone. Just be glad I'm here. But also that translates to Ahmaad as well.
Yeah.
Because and then, you know, when you're adding mental health trials and tribulations and, like, you know, parents being sick or illnesses or, you know, any of the things, realizing what you have to give to the partnership is the part of honest communication and self-realization. And within that, you know, marriage is truly a mirror. It's a mirror of the self-work that you may need to do, but also a mirror of the ways in which you can grow as a person in a communication and self-realization of being like, you know, I suck at this, or I need to grow at this, or like I realize that I'm lacking or don't have what to give in this specific area. Yes.
Because even for, you know, women have menstruation periods during the month, you know, whereas, you know, men, I can't say we don't have menstruation. We don't have menstruation, but we definitely have emotional because, like, things
you go through the same hormonal cycle, you just don't bleed.
Things pile up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't discuss everything that you're feeling every day, all day, or all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I only know that simply because of what I do. You know, being a barber every day, all day, that's all I hear. You know, is the issues, the woes, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But that also has to translate, you know, when you go home, because your partner might not know none of what you're talking about in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, that's the case.
The great songster. Is that the word? You know they say songstress to this a woman. Yeah. Songster sounds wrong. Yeah,
songster for sure.
What do they say when they on the song I Won't Complain?
The songwriter says? The
songwriter says. That's what they say when it's a man. Songstress is what they be saying when it's a woman. Anyway. Whew, that songster is hilarious. I'm gonna use that forever. The great songwriter Donnie McClurkin said, "What do you do when you've given your all? Okay?
And it seems like
you can't make it through. You just stand. No, but for real though.
Be sure. Okay.
But going back to the marriages and 50-50 thing, I saw a lovely video by Brene Brown. She was in a podcast with Tim Ferriss. Relationships are really more so 80-20 than they are 50-50.
Yep.
In the video about true partnership is where the other person can pick up your 20 when you can't, right? Here's a snippet.
Everyone says marriage should be 50-50. It's the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard. It's never 50-50.
Yeah.
Ever. And so what we do is we quantify where we are. So if Steve comes home and he'll be like, I got 20.
Just in terms of energy.
Just energy, investment, kindness, patience. I'm at 20. And I'll be like, I'll cover you. I got you, brother. Like, I'll pull the 80.
And so in that 80-20, like Brene Brown says, that is really picking up the other person's 20 when they can't. So that way, as a whole, you all as a unit are at 100. Which is where the non-50-50 comes in. because I don't always have 50% to give. Ahmaad may not always have 50. He may even have 5. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a real situation. And a lot of things can lead to the other person not having the 50 or not having the 80 or only having 20 or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, like Ahmaad talked about, like, you know, financial woes. When my mom was really sick, I definitely only had about 20 to give.
Sometimes they had that.
And sometimes didn't have that. Yeah, like, you know, and even on him, like, he might not have had a full 80 to match up with my lack. You know what I mean? So, like, it was a real, I won't say we were intentional about being the where you are, like, quantifying this. I feel like we pick up on it socially, and behaviorally, and, like, just realize and knowing one another. Like, you know, it's kind of easy to tell what somebody is emotionally, especially during that era. But I don't think that this is something that we actually sit down and discuss.
Okay, so for me, you know, whenever you know your person, you know what I'm talking about? So whenever I feel like, or whenever I think Raven is having, you know, whatever she got is low, you know, if she ain't got 20, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't have to ask. Sometimes I know. But other times I do need to ask. And I will ask. Because I don't want to assume that I need to carry you. You know what I'm saying?
Good job, Mots. That's good.
Because then, you know, that might end up getting on your nerves, you know, and end up turning into something it ain't even supposed to be, when really I was just trying to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? So there are times where you need to be vocal, and there are times where you don't have to be at all. You know, you really can just assess and see, like, hey, this person, they only got 3 right now, and I need to step in and
carry 97.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they look like they only got 15. Let me step in and ask and see what's going on. So that way you can assess what you need to carry.
Touche, that's good. I definitely guess I could do better with that. I didn't until, like, writing through the episode. I was like, I don't think we really do this like that. In the video, you know, Brene Brown is simply like, her heroes would be like, what you got? And I enjoy the fact that the check-in of that is no more than, is really just that simple. Because it doesn't have to be this whole drawn out, let's sit on the couch, hold hands. Now it can be if that's what you need it to be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, if you know that, or you can tell that your partner does not have 50 or 80 or whatever to give, a simple what you got is so short and to the point that it does not feel like it's requiring more than what they already do not have to give. What they already do not have to give. And so I love the thought of it just being like, what you got. And she made a very good point, and which was also something that I hadn't considered, which was, what do you do when each of you only has 20 or 25 to give? Like, what do you do when all you have to give is not, you're all together, what you have to give does not equal 100? And she was like, you know, they set parameters, and that's when the conversation becomes a sit down and let's discuss and hold hands and figure out what are we gonna do to make sure that while neither one of us is nowhere near reaching 100, what do we do to make sure that we are not in here pissing each other off? That we're not in here, you know, blowing up because I can hear you breathing, and that's the last thing I needed to hear right now.
Yeah, or even you said when you got home that you was gonna do these dishes that's been sitting in here for 2 days, and now you get home and you just sit on the couch on your phone, and now I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not personal. Is that personal?
No,
oh,
because
okay.
I'll be washing dishes. So that's not personal at all.
It's not personal. I had to make
sure. But seriously, you know, like, because while what you have might be low, life still goes on for the both of you. And, you know, house need to be clean, bills need to be paid. You know what I'm saying? So what can we do to where not only are we not trying to kill each other, but we also aren't trying to hurt each other in the process? to where we both can, you know, restructure and fill up? You know, what are those parameters for you to not hurt each other?
Yeah, and I don't think we really have to. Not intentionally. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have a clear plan that, like, I don't want to say doesn't need to be discussed, because that's not my intention, but like, that doesn't have to be rehashed every moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have clear parameters of, like, if you only have 20 and I only have 20 to give, and we have 40 altogether, we don't have a clear plan of, like, so what are we gonna do? And I know that probably may look different every moment, but we don't really have that. And when she said that, I was like, ears perking, because we don't have that. She was like, well, you know, whether that's you all separate rooms, whether one of you goes to a library, whether, like, you know what I mean, where one of you leaves the house and, like, you know, goes to do whatever, whether the other one goes to do a hobby and the other one stays at home, or whatever the case may be. Like, what are the parameters that you all are gonna take to make sure that you all are not hurting each other's feelings while striving to get back to whatever percentage you are normally at?
I can't say that I don't have, I don't have it like written down or anything, but I know if you're low, like, or I can tell that you're low, first thing I'm going to do is ask you what you need.
Yes.
Second thing I'm going to do is leave you the hell alone.
And that's what I'm saying, though. But I'm saying, I know that we do it somewhat naturally, but we don't actually have, like, a clear, like, this is for this. You know what I mean? Like, or like, this is for, like, diffusing a situation. Like, we don't have those. No, we don't. Clearly set up. And that's what she said. I was like, I was like, because we don't necessarily have them. But I also think it was something to, like, really, I was like, my ears perked up, because I was like, well, that's something to, like, try to work on and include. Yeah, try to work on and include. Hello, because over here on Hood Tales, we're not just telling y'all what to do, okay? We are living through it and implementing as we speak, okay? But when she said, I was like, okay, I was like, we definitely, I feel like we separate rooms naturally. We don't typically leave unless, like, you choose to, like, you know, go ball, unless you, like, need to just go release some steam or whatever. But definitely separating rooms. It'd be real quiet around here. But that's really about it. And then once you know, we feel like we're okay, or like back to getting to ourselves, I typically will take a nap, because sleep really does help everything. I don't really care what nobody gotta say. It literally does. It resets your nervous system, your brain, like, yes, it calms it, allows you to be able to put things in order. Yeah, it literally does. For every person, I just choose to exercise that right a little bit more than others. Yeah, because I never used to be a sleeping type of individual, but I'm gonna tell you what, I run me a nap right now. We are part of the growth. But yeah, when she said that, I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely something that we can include a little bit more and better going forward. Because I never even realized that it might be. There are times when I come home where I know I don't have. I only got 5. You know what I'm saying? And you've never voiced that. No, but I'm saying, like, thinking back on it now, realizing, like, I only had 5 when I came home Tuesday or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, 2 weeks ago, I only had like 3, and I'm here. But then I'm telling you, okay, I'll do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But then now I'm falling short because I done told you how to do X, Y, and Z, and I know I only got 3. But that's not something that I'm thinking about communicating. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's walk through that right now in room time. Okay, so you said 2 weeks ago. No. It was just a. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't have no, like. Is that why you haven't put up your content? For G2? Daddy. Yeah, Daddy. So Ahmaad has a gentleman grooming. Well, he's a gentleman groomer, okay, period. But like, he has a beard care line, and one of the main goals for 2024 was for him to be more consistent with being in front of the camera and marketing his product and his products and stuff. And I haven't. Why did you go move away from the mic? Because from my vantage point, the record sign is in front of me. And I have been on him. Yes. Multiple days a week. And I want her since the beginning of the year. And I want her to continue to do that. And he has yet to put this out, right? But you have never come home and said, I don't have it in me today. Not once. You have just let me be like, do you want to do this or not?
Because to be very true, but also to be perfectly honest, for me, to you, that just sounds like, in my own opinion, because I have not done the things, that just sounds like another excuse. You get what I'm saying?
I get
and
that.
how that can sound like another excuse to you.
I get that, but I guess in this scenario that's a little different for me because it's not my dream.
That's very true.
It's not like you. It's to me, it's not an excuse when it's not something that I'm asking of you.
That's very true. But when you're being the pusher and you're being the cheerleader,
yeah,
it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like to continue to ask and push and nothing is happening. You know what I'm saying? And because in my brain, that's just another excuse for me to be like, I don't have it right now. And then not only that, not only do I not have it, I don't even know when I'm gonna have it.
And I think, okay, I agree, right? Because there are a lot of days in which I don't have this.
Facts.
Right? I don't have it to be doing all of the editing, all of the recording, you know what I'm saying? But my motto for this year has been, I can do hard things. Because I can do hard things. Not seeing the sales you want to see and the lack of marketing is also hard.
Yeah.
Choosing to record the video of products that you yourself use and have created and formulated every day is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that is nuts to me.
No,
you know
you're
what I'm
not
saying?
wrong at all.
But you have never not what I can like you never not once said I don't want to do it. Even a simple I don't want to do it today. Okay? And I would have left you right on the low.
I get that.
Because same thing with you. There are many times when you have been like, I told you to hold me accountable to doing this when I get home. And then I decide, or I have worked a 10-hour day, or somebody done pissed me off at work, and you come home and you like, are you going to do that? And I'm like, I just ain't got it today.
And you just be like, no, I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to sit right here on this couch, and I'm going to scroll on my phone, and that's all I'm going to do today. Leave me alone.
And that's being honest about what I got. So
Facts.
maybe we do this.
Facts.
Huh. Maybe we do actually
no, maybe
do
you
this.
do.
Maybe I do this.
Yeah.
Very true.
But also, I think that's a part of my growth. Like, yeah, I've grown in other areas as far as like speaking up about my feelings and saying how I feel, blah blah blah. But that isn't one of them.
That's very true, because I think that I don't want to say lack, because that's not what I'm trying to say. I think that a semi-newness to being in tune with your own emotions, and like having words for them and being able to process them just by yourself is part of the self-realization. And if you are not able to do that in terms of I don't have it, you don't know what to do with that. And it looks like procrastination, it looks like laziness, it looks like you just not doing the things that you said you were gonna do. And that's interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you don't like what?
I don't like this.
What?
You know I hate when you be reading me.
Reading you. It's just a matter of like, we were working through it in real time, and that rarely happens on this. Well, I don't say really, but like I love when that happens on this podcast, because I think it's real application of the discussion like happening in real time. But you have seen a lot of growth with your emotional vulnerability and emotional honesty. But there's still, as we are discovering right now, that there's still an area in which you need some more growth in, even with yourself, before you can get to a point with even discussing it with me.
Facts.
That's so interesting. So you gonna do your work today?
What you mean, like putting it out?
Putting it out. Whatever else you gotta do.
I'm probably gonna put it out tomorrow.
Okay.
Not today. But the rest of it, yes. I'm gonna go to sleep until I do it.
Good job.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I literally said something to you earlier about your graphics. Interesting.
Yeah, but you said we'll talk about that when you get back home.
Yes, but I've been on you about those too. So interesting. Well,
Yeah.
that's our quantify where you are, child, because it clearly varies day to day to day. And it will, truly, because life varies day to day to day. And I know it gets a little bit more complicated when you add in children and baby and them kids in the mix. Because I couldn't imagine I would have nothing to give every single day.
Actually, last Friday, Chavez was gone. And I cut one of his clients. I'm sorry, last Saturday. And he was like, you know, I had got home yesterday. I had a flat tire. I had to pay X amount of bills. My kid was doing this, that, and the third. And he was like, Ahmaad, I'm sitting in the car and I know I only got 10%. His words verbatim. And he was like, I'm just gonna go in the house and tell the wife, oh, that's all I got. And I'm like, you know, is that, you know, for all things, or is that for things that she needs you to do? He was like, Ahmaad, I could probably split that 10 for, you know, if she need me to cook dinner, if she need me to fix something around the house, whatever, or if she want to spend quality time. He said, but I ain't got it. That's about it. And I was like, that's real.
That's very real. That's very real. Because I'm typically like that on grocery shopping days.
Yes.
After I have gone to all of the stores.
Them groceries would be right at the door when I come
After
in.
I have gone to all of the stores, spent all of the money, and I'm on the verge of tears about the cost of everything. Because why does everything cost so much money? As Orlando Brown said, we paying for grapes. We're supposed to be the guy. No, but for real though, because that be sending me like every
seriously.
time. I'll be like, I spent $150 in Sam's Club.
Got 4 items.
Not that a little more than 4 items.
But still.
This time I get a little more than 4
You're right,
but I still spent $150 in Sam's Club. And I was just like, I am sad now.
You probably
I am
didn't get
sad
10
now.
items. And that's crazy.
I think I got it 10 exactly, actually.
But that's crazy still.
Yeah, $150
Nuts.
in Sam's. And I was just like, oh. And I still had 3 more stores to go to. But like, seriously though, like I be needing a hot minute to recharge after doing other things. But especially now with like us being active and like, you know, I'm still working overtime and things, I am very emotionally honest about that. I think that, shout out to Tanya, you know, I always talk about my mom on here a lot, mostly because I know she'd be listening or watching, but like shout out to her, because I think because of her I am very much so like, I ain't got it.
Yeah, and you tell me that too.
Yes, but I also had a mother that would tell us, I ain't got it.
And I think for me, which is, you know, we always say that we are polar opposites growing up, and really our parents too, because my dad never said that.
Yeah.
You know, and to be perfectly honest, he still never says that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if he's tired, he not coming home saying that junk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna push through and, you know, make the kids laugh, or, you know, go do something mama asked him to do, or do something that he had been supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He's never gonna say like, hey, I'm just dog ass tired. He's not gonna say that. You know, he's going to say it's gonna be okay, and he gonna keep doing whatever he need to do.
Yeah.
And I realized that I have been doing that, and it is not healthy. Because then you go into the next day supremely exhausted, and that usually
because now you put on a facade, so now you're probably more emotionally tired than you were before.
On top of being physically tired.
Hello.
Because I'm gonna tell you, when you're emotionally tired and you're not honest about that, and you just try to keep on going, that's gonna turn into physical. Okay, I want you to know. You're gonna be sluggish, super sluggish. I did it plenty of days. Now that I'm like thinking back on it, oh man, I should have been said that.
Do you feel better? Or do you? I know that it makes you feel uncomfortable when you share your feelings.
Yeah, I don't like sharing my feelings at all. I can't say that No, I do.
I said you seem like you feel better with realizing it. Yeah.
So hopefully now I can put that into implementation. And, yeah. Be honest about what I have.
That's good. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Shout out to Brene Brown. Okay, air horn.
And I love Mrs. Brown.
I do too. I got to see her in person at the Women's Conference last year.
I got to see her on camera like I always do.
You did get to see her on camera like you always do.
My hood highlight today is to the song says say what you need to say, but saying what you need to say about where you are and what you have, and being vocal about that, you know, and not just to your partner but also to yourself, so that it can actually be, you're not putting on for anyone, you know, not even for yourself. You know, you should be honest with yourself first and foremost, especially if you ain't gonna be honest with nobody else. But still, yeah, that's my hood highlight.
That's good.
What about you?
My hood highlight would have to be really that closed mouths don't get fed. And I say that because, you know, earlier when you said that, like, you can pick up on when I'm not, you know, I don't have it. You don't have it is not that visual.
Nope.
Because even when, you know, we were talking and I was having the realization that for the past really month, you have not had it. Because I've been on you about doing the things that you said you were going to do, and you just have not. You know what I'm saying? But that, to me, because of other conversations and understanding of like where you are with that, has not been a you don't have it. It's come off to me as more like a
you don't want to. Not
a you don't want to, but I know that you have a fear about it as well. And then like an internal complex about it, an internal bully, and like, you know, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so to me pushing it is me trying to push you through that. Not the yes. I don't have it part, but through the mental, I don't want to call it warfare, but it kind of is.
But technically, yeah.
But through the mental warfare of like what it is to present yourself on the internet, and like what it is for people to see you trying. And so I understand that part of it, which is what my pushing has been. Yeah, because you don't have it, and your normal decompress from after work look the same.
Yep.
So I have not picked up on that. And your attitude towards me pushing has not been like Ashley Banks, get up off me though. Back up off. Like it hasn't been a back up off me vibe. It's just been like it just has been like, no, I haven't done it yet.
Because I know I need it. But also I never even realized that also could just play into it. Yes.
So really, truly, that closed mouths don't get fed, and no matter how, and also that your spouse is not a mind reader.
Very true.
Because I would have never known had we not. I probably would have kept pushing, and I don't know how much further we would have gotten throughout this year without us having or reaching this conversation had I not decided to be like, okay, we should talk about this in this podcast because I saw the podcast clip.
Yeah.
Like craziness. But yeah, like, you know, really that your spouse is not a mind reader, and closed mouths do not get fed, because I would have never known.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my hood highlight for today.
That was great.
Yeah. So in summary, y'all, no relationship is 50-50.
Not at all.
Be willing to have real conversations about where you are and what you have to give. And that's definitely something that we're going to start asking each other when we get home. What you got?
Because there ain't nothing wrong with being at a low percent.
No, not at all. Because it's real.
And it also means, the one thing that it means.
Yeah.
Baby, you used what you had.
Yeah. I mean, because I can already tell. I already know tomorrow I ain't going to have it. I ain't going to have it. I ain't going to have it. We about to watch the Super Bowl. I'm about to edit this podcast. I got other stuff to record and edit before we go to bed. And we're going to the gym tomorrow. And I'm working 10 hours. Yep. I ain't gonna have it.
Yep. And next week start 4 days.
Oh yeah, we're upping our days at the gym to 4. Whew, I already ain't got it.
I'm sick about it right now. Already angry.
Yeah. All right, thank y'all for watching. You can find us on all of the socials. You can find the podcast on Facebook at Hood Tales with Raven and Ahmaad Hood, and on Instagram at Hood Tales Pod. I am on Instagram and TikTok at _RavenCamille.
I am on Instagram and TikTok.
Underscore.
Underscore. The Gentleman's Groomer.
Yeah. And till next time, y'all. Thank you for watching.
See ya.
Bye.